let us clear up some nonsense. If you have ever tried to bulk and ended up just feeling fat, confused, or frustrated, then this video is for you. Because the truth is, most people are doing it wrong. Some people eat like it is Thanksgiving every single day. Some try to gain weight so slowly, it is like watching paint dry. And some people, bless their hearts, genuinely think they can stay lean forever and still grow like superheroes. That is not how it works. So today, we are breaking down the 5 biggest mistakes people make when trying to gain muscle, and more importantly, how to fix them. If you are tired of wasting time, stuck in the same place, and not seeing real progress, stick around. This might just be the wake-up call your gains have been waiting for. Here's the number 1 thing people get totally wrong about bulking. They think they don't need to do it. They think they can build muscle, get big, get jacked, and still stay the same weight. But unless you started off very overweight, that just isn't how it works. Let me give you an example. Imagine someone weighs 240 pounds and they're, let's say, really soft around the edges. They go on a serious diet, drop all the way down to 165, and over the next few years, they slowly build back up to 200. But this time, they're strong, lean, and muscular. That's impressive. And yeah, if you're 6'1" and you weigh 200 with low body fat, you're probably looking jacked. And technically, you didn't gain weight overall. You went from 240 to 200. So it's like you lost weight and still got jacked. Cool story. But here's the catch. You have to start out really overweight for that to work. Most people aren't in that situation. Now let's say you're around 155 pounds. You're not fat, you're just average or a little on the lean side. And you want to look like one of those guys at the gym who's 185 and built like a superhero. Well, I've got news for you. You're not going to get there unless you actually weigh 185 pounds. You can't stay 1550 forever and magically grow into a bigger body. Physics doesn't work like that. Your body needs more mass to look more muscular. So what do? You eat more. That's called a calorie surplus. It just means you're eating more calories than your body burns. You can do it on purpose, like tracking your food and planning your meals. Or you can just listen to your hunger and eat a bit extra. Either way, you need to be in a surplus to grow. And yeah, I know. There's been a trend online where people say bulking is dead or bulking is stupid. They say you can just maintain and grow muscle slowly without gaining fat. And okay, extreme bulking where people gain a ton of fat with the muscle, that's definitely a bad idea. But the idea that you don't need to bulk at all? That almost never works. For most people, that's just spinning your wheels. So here's what actually works. If you're a little skinny and you want to get bigger, pick a phase of 13 to 20 weeks. During that time, aim to gain about 0.25 to 0.5 pounds each week. Not more, not less. Just enough to let your body build muscle without packing on too much fat. After that, you can take a break, maintain your weight, or do a short fat loss phase. Then you repeat the process. That's how bodybuilders have done it for decades. Not because it sounds cool, but because it actually works. You want more muscle on your body? You have to give your body more tissue to work with. That means bulking. That's not a trend. That's just how muscle is built. Mistake number 2 is thinking that bulking means eating like a maniac. You realize you need to gain weight, so you go all in. 5 meals a day, late night snacks, pancakes for dinner, and boom, you're gaining 2 pounds a week. And at first, it feels awesome. The scale goes up, your shirts feel tighter, and you're like, yep, this is working. But here's the reality. It's not. Let's say you start at 175 pounds, and after 7 weeks, you're 185. That sounds great on paper. But here's the catch. Muscle doesn't grow that fast. If you're gaining 1 or 2 pounds a week, most of that isn't muscle, it's fat. Real muscle growth happens slowly. We're talking a quarter pound of muscle per week, maybe, if you're doing everything right. So if you gain half a pound a week, that's pretty solid. Probably half of it is muscle and half is fat. If you gain 1 pound a week, it's still only about a quarter pound of muscle. The rest is fat. And if you gain 2 pounds a week, now you're mostly just packing on body fat. So people say things like, I want to finish bulking fast, I'll just eat a ton, gain the weight quicker, then cut later. But it doesn't really work like that. When you bulk slowly, your training improves over time. You feel better in your workouts. Your strength builds up. Your body adjusts. You hit PRs. You build momentum. That's where the real gains happen. But when you bulk too fast, it's like slamming on the gas and then hitting the brakes a few weeks later. There's no rhythm. You don't build strength. You just gain fluff, feel sluggish, and have to cut again before your training ever really takes off. There's another problem too. When you gain weight too quickly, your cardio goes downhill. Your legs get pumped way too fast. Your breathing gets worse. You do a leg press set and you're dying. Not because your muscles are failing, but because you're out of breath. That's not muscle growth. That's your gut getting in the way. You lose your range of motion, you feel heavy, your whole body feels off, and suddenly your cardio is holding you back instead of your muscles. That's not the goal. Bulking should feel steady, smooth, and controlled, not like a 5,000 calorie food challenge every day. Sure, it's fun for like 2 days, but then it sucks. And worse, you don't even get the muscle you hoped for. I've done that kind of bulk before. It never works out the way you think. So here's the takeaway. Gaining weight too fast doesn't mean faster muscle. It just means more fat to cut later. Go slow. Stay consistent. Let your training build up over time. That's where the real progress is. So here's the deal. We've just covered the first 2 mistakes that are quietly killing your muscle gains. And trust me, they're more common than you think. But we're not done yet. There are still 3 more mistakes that most people are making every time they try to bulk. And they're just as important, if not more. If you've ever felt stuck, bloated, frustrated, or like nothing's changing no matter how hard you train, the next part is going to hit even harder. We'll be talking about the mindset traps, the training mistakes, and the sneaky habits that sabotage your bulk without you even realizing. So if you're serious about building a body you're proud of, don't miss part 2. And hey, before you go, let me ask you this. What's the biggest mistake you think people make when trying to gain muscle? Drop it in the comments. I'm curious to see if it lines up with the ones we'll cover next.